I am Dr. Sonal from Department of Anthropology, University of Delhi. In this series of forensic science lecture, we are going to talk about the organizational setup of forensic science laboratories and institutions in India. The forensic word is not unknown to Indian fraternity. Our ancestors were using the forensic technologies since thousands of years ago. We have reference in many books where our ancestors were using the fingerprint technology to identify various people. But the first setup of forensic science laboratory, the first state forensic science laboratory was set up in the year 1958 in Calcutta, which has all multidisciplinary approaches. Although the chemical examiner laboratory was set up during the Britishers era in the year 1858. But with the various advances in this field, since then various divisions are being set up in the forensic science laboratory and various institutions are being set up which will help us or in strengthening the investigation of any crime. So, to talk about one of the institution which was developed during was Central Detective Training School at Calcutta, which is also known as CDTS Calcutta. It was a premier detective training school in India which was established during the year 1956 and was co-located within the same premises of the CFPB Calcutta. The aim of establishing this school was to impart training in the scientific investigation of crimes like drug abuse, terrorism, explosion, crime against women, investigation of road accidents and enforcement of traffic laws, etc. So, after that there was developed the Central Forensic Science Laboratories. The first Central Forensic Science Laboratory was established at Calcutta during 1957. To begin with, this laboratory was organized into 4 basic disciplines: forensic physics, forensic chemistry, forensic biology and forensic ballistics. But for the application of nuclear methods of analysis to criminal investigation, the Neutron Activation Analysis Unit of Central Forensic Science Lab, Calcutta, was set up in the year 1970 at the Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Trombay. During the year 1965, the second Central Forensic Science Laboratory was established at Hyderabad. The CFSL Hyderabad initially established analytical facilities in the disciplines of forensic physics, forensic chemistry and forensic biology. The CFSL Chandigarh, which was established in the year 1933 at Lahore, it was shifted to Chandigarh during the year 1961, and over the years many full-fledged forensic science laboratories were established in various states. So, we have developed various central forensic science laboratories which are controlled by the center, and then we have various state forensic science laboratories which were administered by the state. So, they also take care of the cases which are for the neighboring the whole cities of that state and or the union territories. So, under the Central Forensic Science Lab, there are 21 regional laboratories which are known as FSLs or Forensic Science Laboratories, which are located in different states and union territories. These FSLs are responsible for providing forensic services to their respective regions. Additionally, specialized forensic laboratories such as the National Forensic Laboratory for Narcotics and Psychotropic Substances and the National Institute of Criminology and Forensic Sciences, they cater to specific areas of forensic science. At present, there are 33 FSLs in India which are categorized into 3 types. The first is the Central Forensic Science Laboratory. There are 13 CFSLs in major cities across India, including Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Hyderabad, Guwahati, Bhopal, Pune. These laboratories handle cases of national importance and provide technical assistance to state police forces. Whereas we have state forensic science laboratories, there are 19 state forensic science laboratories which are located in various states and union territories. These laboratories are responsible for providing forensic services to state police forces and assisting in local investigations. Now, we have Judicial Forensic Science Laboratories, JFSLs. There are 5 JFSLs in different high courts across India. These laboratories provide forensic assistance to the judiciary during their trial and proceedings. So, in short, if we see, we have CFSLs, Central Forensic Science Laboratories, we have State FSLs, State Forensic Science Laboratories, and we have JFSLs, Judicial Forensic Science Laboratories. Apart from that, one more institute is there, which is Central Forensic Institute or CFI Calcutta. With the establishment of CDTS and CFSLs and later on GEQDs also in the same premises under the control of Intelligence Bureau, the whole setup was named as the Central Forensic Institute. The CFI is the combination of CDTS, CFSLs, GEQDs, and all this combination, the whole institute was named as Central Forensic Institute, Calcutta. A post of commandant was created during 1958 to look after the overall functioning of all these establishments, which had different roles, but they have one common larger goal of providing appropriate scientific inputs to the criminal investigation processes and administration of criminal justice in the country. So, then Central Detective Training Schools were also opened at Hyderabad and Chandigarh in the year 1964, and on the same pattern Calcutta they followed by another one at Chandigarh during the year 1973. So, one detective training school was settled at Hyderabad in the year 1964, and then in the year 1973 it was opened at Chandigarh. Their main objective was to train the operational police personnel in modern scientific techniques of crime investigation with a view to improve their professional standard and efficiency. Along with that, another institute which was opened is Indian Academy of Forensic Science. The Indian Academy of Forensic Sciences was established in the year 1960. This academy started a biennial scientific journal which served as a forum for the exchange of ideas in forensic science with the other international bodies. The role of the academy was also to hold annual scientific meetings, seminar, or assist in holding seminars in forensic science. In fact, it was all the instance of this academy that the Government of India established the Neutron Activation Analysis NAA unit to cater for the forensic needs in the country. So, this IAAFS, they have their journal started and they were publishing their papers to exchange their ideas with the international community. Starting with this, they also thought to teach forensic science in various universities. So, the question of introducing criminology and forensic science as the courses of study at the university level in India was taken up with the vice chancellors of various universities during the year 1950. But the progress made was not very encouraging. So, the need for university teaching of criminology and forensic science was also stressed in various annual meetings of the central advisory committees of the forensic science. So, a deputation met the chairman, University Grants Commission in the year 1961, and the matter was again taken up by Shri D.P. Kohli, the then director of CBI, in the year 1967. The then chairman of UGC, Dr. D.S. Kothari, they came up with a high level committee to advise the commission on the steps to be taken for introduction of criminology and forensic sciences in the university education, which was the need of the hour, so that more people should come up who can take up this subject higher on. So, consequently, 3 universities with University of Sagar, Madras and Patiala, they started undergraduate and postgraduate courses in forensic science and criminology, and it was further suggested that as an initial step in this direction, one institute under the central government should be established in Delhi. So, that led to the development of Institute of Criminology and Forensic Science at New Delhi. The ultimate objective of the institute was to develop into a full-fledged academic institution affiliated to a university. The Institute of Criminology and Forensic Science ICFS was established in Delhi during the year 1971, which has very limited objectives of imparting training to the in-service personnel and conducting research in criminology and forensic science. So, their main job was to impart training to the various bureaucrats and other officers or who are in service. Also along with that, they used to conduct some R&D in the field of criminology and forensic science. So, in the year 1983, the then Scientific Advisory Committee to the Cabinet, under the overall guidance of an expert committee chaired by Professor M.M. Sharma, FRS recommended that the laboratories in Delhi, Calcutta, Hyderabad must be developed as science and technology institutions functioning in an autonomous fashion with complete modernization of equipment and manpower capabilities. So, following Professor M.M. Sharma's things, the labs of Delhi, Calcutta and Hyderabad, they were provided with the best facilities of the forensic science institutions, and in pursuance of these recommendations, the Government of India declared the forensic science institutions at the central government level as science and technology institutions. Based on the observations of the expert group of the SAC, BPR&D, they evolved a master plan for restructuring the each Central Forensic Science Lab of the BPR&D into 15 scientific divisions. BPR&D is Bureau of Police Research and Development. So, when they started with this, in the first phase, the 3 CFSLs at Calcutta, Hyderabad and Chandigarh, they were restructured into 6 scientific divisions: biology, where the cases related to biology or the biological specimens were treated; ballistics, where the cases related to arms and ammunitions were taken care of; chemistry, where the cases related to all the chemical substances were taken care of; explosives, physics and toxicology. So, following that, the offices of the government examiners of question documents at Shimla, Calcutta and Hyderabad, that means the GUQDs of Shimla, Calcutta and Hyderabad, they were strengthened in terms of the manpower. Besides the augmentation of staff, all the PPR&D labs registered significant progress in the acquisition of sophisticated analytical equipment and updating their modernizing the laboratory and library facilities for the smooth working of these institutions. So, after that, in the year 1997, a new mandate came to the CFSLs of BPR&D. During the year 1997, this realization led to the process of defining the role of the CFSLs of BPR&D de novo. The justification for the existence of the 3 CFSLs under the BPR&D was thought to be twofold. So, one, they should act as epitomes of quality and high standards for the state laboratories to evaluate, and also they should not only set visible higher standards in quality of analytical processes and reporting accuracy, but they should also be the repository of standards and benchmarks against which the performance of all the state FSLs can be judged. So, following this new mandate of Bureau of Police Research and Development, the CFSLs, they worked on this to increase the strength, and also the BPR&Ds, therefore, they have a decisive say in the process of accreditation not only of its own Central Forensic Science Labs or GQDs, but also the other state forensic science labs which are not under the BPR&D. Secondly, since forensic science is one of the most dynamic sciences, they should provide R&D support to this field of science. Every new research, development and invention in any discipline of science, they should have a potential of application in forensic science. So, following that, newer, better and more reliable technologies were developing in all the disciplines which need to be harnessed for the fight against crime. The BPR&D CFSLs, they should scout around for new developments outside the realm of forensic science and adapt them for use and standardize the processes and disseminate them to the state FSLs. So, whatever the procedure or the new techniques which will be taken up by the CFSLs, they should standardize all the processes, and those processes then should be trained to or should be spoken to the state FSLs. So, they also follow the same technology which is being followed by the central forensic science labs. In the year 1998, the first forensic DNA typing facility was established at CFSL Calcutta. The implementation of this state-of-art technique represents significant advancements in the forensic biology in the country. This DNA typing facility was a game changer as many cases related to forensic science were solved using this DNA typing technology. So, the DNA typing facility which was formed at the CFSL Calcutta, it was equipped with the most contemporary techniques of DNA typing, namely PCR based methods, HLA-DQ alpha, polymarker techniques and locus specific RFLP, restricted fragment length polymorphism techniques. So, this laboratory, after being functional, has been referred many crime cases pertaining to murder, rape and murder, paternity disputes, organ transplant, exchange of babies in hospitals, paternity disputes, maternity disputes, and DNA typing facility has further been upgraded to conduct STR based DNA typing, that is short tandem repeat sequence based DNA typing. Then the major advancement which came on is the mobile forensic science lab. The mobile forensic van is very unique. It is air conditioned and it is equipped with modern amenities to undertake spot test in laboratory environment at the crime scene itself. It has all the facilities to assist the investigating officers in carrying out the preliminary spot test and even in packing the collected forensic evidence. It has also the facility to sketch and take photographs of crime scene both in still and video modes. So, with the development of these mobile forensic science lab, the investigating officers, they started conducting routine tests in this mobile vans, because sometimes the evidence which is found at the crime scene, it might get deteriorate until it reaches the forensic lab. So, for that purpose, some preliminary test facility was being given to the mobile forensic science lab. Also, these mobile FSLs, they have all the arrangements of collecting various evidences from the crime scene. Also, the facility where the sketch of the person can also be made and the photographs and the videography of scene can also be conducted. So, it is a well equipped forensic science lab which is a van equipped with all the modern facilities, having the fingerprint kit, explosives kit, semen kit, footprint kit, etc., which helps us in the collection of evidences from the crime scene. So, all the latest forensic tools and kits along with the special multi-tunable light sources which has 8 different wavelengths. So, we need these wavelength light at the crime scene where we are looking for various evidences which are not visible to the naked eye. For example, certain fingerprints, certain footprints which are present there, those fingerprints and footprints, they are developed by the sweat of our body. That means those fingerprints or footprints, they are latent in nature. These latent fingerprints or footprints, or sometimes some biological material which are transparent in nature, for example saliva there, semen is there, vaginal fluid is there. So, all those biological materials or all these fingerprints and footprints, they can be made visible using this light which has different wavelengths, which is very useful to locate the evidence and then further collection of evidences. So, body fluids, hairs and fibers, GSRs, explosive residues, bite marks, question documents, tire tracks, shoe prints, narcotic drugs, etc. So, the crime scene management experts specially trained in GFSU for this purpose are available to manage the mobile forensic van, where they have this expertise of collecting these evidences. Now, whenever we are talking about how the different departments are there in a forensic science laboratory, let's have a look how they are organized and what is the hierarchy. So, the organization of a FSL, it is headed by a scientist designated as director, which is assisted by scientists at different levels, deputy directors, assistant directors, scientific officers and technicians. Generally, the lab is divided into divisions headed by deputy directors or an assistant director. All officers of the lab are empowered to undertake examinations of case exhibits and submit reports to the court through the director. So, we have a director of which looks after both the technical wing and the administrative wing. In the technical wing, we have additional director, deputy director, joint deputy director, then assistant director or senior scientific officer, then we have scientific assistant, and then we have laboratory assistant or lab attendant. But in the administrative wing, we have section officers, where we have all the different persons who are non-scientific and look for the administrative works. We have librarians, attendants, peons, gardeners and other staff who look after the other work of the forensic science laboratory. So, the first unit in the forensic science lab is the case receipt unit, where we take care of exhibit and hand over to the reports. This is the place where all the exhibits and evidences come over. All the police officers or the investigating officers who have collected evidences from the crime scene, they leave their packets at the case receipt unit. The sealed parcels are accepted after examining all the seals, the condition of the packet and the forwarding letter. Then the samples which are in the parcel are sent to appropriate divisions for the analysis. After lab examination, the leftover portion of the samples are forwarded to this unit to be returned to the police. So, the case receipt unit, which is maintained at the starting of the forensic science lab, it is the only point of contact where the evidences are being given and the parcel is being transferred to. Depending upon what is in the parcel, that is being given to the further forensic division, and whatever the amount of sample which is left after being analysis, that is returned to the police. So, depending upon what type of case is there, the case receipt unit will give that particular evidence to that particular division. For example, let us talk about if we have blood, semen, saliva, hair, they all will go to the biology division. Hairs and fibers, they go to the biology division as well as the physics division. In the chemistry divisions, we have the adulterated petroleum, fertilizers, medicines, burnt remains. For the toxicology divisions, we have the visceral samples related to poisoning, stomach wash, vomit, injection site. In the physics division, the building materials like adulterated cement samples, cement proportions, glass, sand, soil, paint, dirt, tools and cut marks identification, restoration of obliterated marks will go. In the excise division, we have the spurious and illicit liquors. Narcotic divisions, all the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances which comes under the NDPS Act. Document examination, where we have ink, paper analysis, examination, burned or charred document, currency examination, passport, I-card, degrees, forged currency examination. In the ballistics, we have firearms, bullets, cartridge cases, explosive, all the chemical nature of material used in explosion. In the photography unit, they click the photographs and video record the crime scene and thus bring the scene to the lab. Fingerprint unit examines the fingerprint examinations, and the latent fingerprint unit examine the fingerprints which are not visible to the naked eye. Polygraph unit, they conduct the lie detector test, which is for the crime scene investigation to provide the lead in the crime scene. we have one department where we have voice print and videography analysis unit, where the voice analysis is being done and the CCTV footage analysis is being done. The cyber forensic unit, where the cases related to the hacking and denial of service attacks with the computer system is the crime scene that has been conducted, and the proof of the crime will be present in the computer system. The proof can be browsing history, emails, document, etc. We have a forensic pathology department where the investigation of unnatural, unexplained or violent death will be taken care of. Forensic anthropology for the identification and examination of skeletal remains in order to determine if remains are human or another type. Forensic entomology to study the insects and their developmental stage. Forensic psychiatry to study human behavior and legal proceedings is required in both civil and criminal cases. Odontology is the department where the cases related to the teeth identification will go. So, all these departments which are being present at the forensic science laboratory, they have their different ways. They take care of different specimens, analyze different specimens, and whatever the analysis report they will form, that will go and will be presented at the court of law. And the forensic examiner who has examined that evidence will be summoned by the court to explain his report in the court of law, where he has to present his case. So, the report which is being produced by a forensic analyst is based on a 100% scientific investigation and which helps in the solving the cases. So, to conclude, I will say a few lines by the Stephen Wright. In school, every period ends with a bell, every sentence ends with a period, and every crime should end with a sentence. Thank you.